I made over $70,000 profit in 1 month selling products on Amazon just like this. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 real-life on-screen examples of what winning and profitable products look like. These are exact examples of products that I would sell in my Amazon FBA business as a 7-figure seller. I'm going to break down the entire process and how you can find these products too. The Amazon gurus will charge a lot of money for this information, and I'm going to give it away to you for free in this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Brad Sherman. I'm a 27-year-old full-time Amazon FBA seller that turned $200 into a 7-figure business. I've been selling on Amazon for 5 years, and I've been able to build a profitable Amazon FBA business that makes me money all day long, even while I sleep. And if you're looking to do the same thing, you've come to the right place, because on this channel, I share tons of free information about how you can start and scale your Amazon FBA business, even if you're a complete beginner. Today, I want to make it really easy for you to find profitable products and succeed as a new seller. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. All right, I am going to walk you through 3 real-life on-screen examples of products that I would sell in my Amazon FBA business. These are 3 product examples of the exact kinds of products that I sell in my Amazon FBA business to do 7 figures every single year. And in this video, we're going to dive into it. The 3 kinds of products we're going to discover are seasonal products, replenishable or consumable products, and niche related products, and we're going to dive into examples of each of those. We are starting in Smart Scout, and if you guys are not using Smart Scout is a great tool for finding profitable brands to work with. If you guys aren't using Smart Scout and you want to sign up, I do have a link in the description where I do receive a small commission from Smart Scout, and you can get a discount on signing up for the program. It's a great tool, and it can help you streamline the Amazon FBA sourcing process for wholesale. So the first kind of product that we're going to look at is a seasonal item. And the first thing I want to do is go over to the Brands tab in Smart Scout. And from here, I'm going to set a basic filter criteria. So I'm going to go up and click Filters. And from here, I have a preset filter called Basic Filter 1. And I'm putting in very simple criteria here. The first one is that I want a minimum average selling price of $9. I want a monthly revenue range of $20,000 to $250,000, and that's for the purpose of targeting smaller to mid-sized brands for products that we can actually get our hands on and actually close a wholesale account with. And then I want the average number of FBA sellers to be no less than 2 sellers on the listing. This is because I want to avoid private label product where the brand is selling them directly, or maybe an exclusive third-party seller. And from here, we talked about how the first thing we're going to look for is seasonal items. Now, a lot of people will say, avoid seasonal items. And I say, absolutely not. Seasonal items are a great opportunity to maximize sales and cash flow during a particular time of the year. At the time I'm recording this video, it's October, and we're stocking up on tons and tons of seasonal items that is going to make us a ton of money for the holiday season. So if you can get a product for every single season, this means in the summertime, in the Q4 holiday time, in the slower times of January and February, you can actually run a business with all different kinds of seasonal items that then makes the products that you sell not so seasonal because you have a product for every single season. This being said, there are peak months and slower months to the year, so seasonal items are a great way to boost sales during slower months. So from here, all we're going to do is set this filter criteria, and because I'm looking for seasonal items in my search, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to narrow this down by category. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that there are seasonal products for every single category. So by me doing this, it is allowing me to niche down a little bit more, but it is limiting my search a little bit because let's say I don't check automotive, which traditionally you might think is not a seasonal category. There are many gifts in the automotive space that people give for Christmas that you could potentially be exploring. But for the purposes of this video, it's going to be raw, unedited. So I'm trying to find in the fastest amount of time a seasonal product example that you can use in your Amazon FBA business and mimic this example. So the first thing I see is definitely arts, crafts, and sewing is going to be a category that I'm interested in. Perhaps a category like, let's see here, grocery or gourmet food. There's tons and tons of gourmet food items you can sell for the holiday season, and you can filter this out by different categories. Kitchen and dining is a great category for seasonal products because things like cookware is going to do very, very well for the holiday season. And you know what? I want to start in this category because I have experience in it, and there are tons of products in this category that you can sell seasonally for Q4 and Christmas to make a lot of money. So I'm going to use the kitchen and dining category as our first example here, and I'm going to go ahead and press search. From here, this is going to populate tons and tons of items. And from here, I'm literally just going to scroll through this. And what I'm looking for is to click on a product and then look at the Keepa chart to determine if it is of interest from a seasonality standpoint. But I'm also going to look at it from the perspective of, is it a product that I'm actually going to buy? Is it a brand that, sells to a few different FBA sellers? Is it a brand that I could reach out to potentially get a wholesale account? Because if the brand is the only seller on the listing, this is going to be a bad opportunity. And the first thing I'm going to see is I'm just going to click on a couple of different listings that do show that there are multiple Amazon FBA sellers here. So we have kitchen knife set first. We have TCOS. We have Alexander's Home. So let's take a look at a couple of these items and see if and why they are seasonal items of interest to us. And again, the way that we know these products are seasonal is because we are going to look at the Keepa chart and find out. I have the DS AMZ Quick View extension installed, and that allows me to see at a first glance what the Keepa chart looks like and all of the information behind the listing. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at our first product here, which is a European salt and pepper mill. I'm going to click on it and see what we can find. So right now, the first thing that I see is that it looks like from an initial search that they do sell to multiple different resellers on Amazon. The brand does sell their product, but they also sell to some other Amazon FBA resellers. So this is in the clear for us. However, because we're looking for seasonality, I'm not totally seeing that yet. And it's actually hard to tell if this product is a seasonal product because recently we can see that the Keepa chart shows a decline in sales. And that would be because it actually looks like this was a variation previously and it split off from this variation. So previously it was selling like crazy and then it totally stopped selling. And this abrupt change tells me that it was a variation change and it came off the primary variation listing. And the sales prior were taking into account multiple different variations. So what I'm going to look at is I'm actually just going to, jump to the next one because I want to see seasonality. It's Q4. I want to find a product that's going to sell for Christmas. So I'm going to jump back here, close out of this tab, and now I have a cutting board. This is a great gift. So my guess is it would do well for the holiday season, but we're not going to take my word for it. We're going to find out for ourselves. And the first thing that I could see is, in fact, that while the product on the Keepa chart, as we wait for this to populate, may do well for the season, the brand is the only one selling on their listing. And let's take a look and verify that. And it does look like there's a couple third-party FBAs on it, but for the most part, the brand is the competitive one with the buy box. Go ahead and close this out and go to our next product here. So I'm now on Rada Cutlery, and they are a number one top-rated selling product. And let's see who's selling it. And it does look like that there are a few sellers selling this product. Let's take a closer look at them. I don't see the brand on it, Raider Cutlery. I see multiple FBA sellers on this listing, somewhere in the 5 to 6 range, which is ideal. Listing is well optimized, which means that they have really good images, really good bullet points and titles. And I'm going down to the Keepa chart. And what I'm looking for is seasonality. And to be honest with you here, I'm not seeing a ton of seasonality. So I'm looking for a product that sells well during Christmas. And while I do see that this product does a little bit better for Christmas, as we can see from the more staggering green line on the Keepa chart. And if you guys haven't seen my video on how to read a Keepa chart from start to finish, I break down full examples of how to read Keepa, how to analyze what this green line means, and all the different parameters of Keepa. So I've linked that video up above. If you're interested, make sure to check it out. Now, beginning in December, we do see some good sales traction here, but it's not a crazy seasonal item. So we're going to jump back to Smart Scout and we're going to continue our search. And again, this is the exact way that I'm doing it. I told you at the beginning of the video that I'm going into this and I didn't do any homework ahead of time. I want to actually show you raw footage of what it looks like to find profitable products to sell on Amazon. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on another brand. And this is exactly what I'll do, one at a time, is go through the different listings and see if we can find some seasonality here. On this particular listing, again, a listing that's really well optimized, great images, great title, bullet points, and that means that the brand just has some sort of commanding presence on Amazon. So it does look like that either the brand or an exclusive third party is representing them on Amazon. While we do see some really, really good seasonality here, it's not a product of interest for that reason. So we're going to close that out and jump back to Smart Scout. And this is an example right here of a really big brand, NutriBullet, that I would actually stay away from. While there might be some seasonality here, there's 50 plus sellers, probably a lot of them unauthorized or buying through retail or online arbitrage. I want to focus on products that I can procure directly from the brand, and that means staying away from huge brands like NutriBullet, which are actually known to issue IP complaints. So we're going to keep scrolling through here, and let's see what we can find. So this Hawkins brand, there's 14 average sellers on the listing, and it looks like they sell some different products like cookware and things of that nature. There are a good amount of Amazon sellers on this listing here. Let's see if this is anything of interest. And again, we do see Amazon selling the product at a non-competitive price. What is our FBA third-party situation? We see a lot of FBA sellers. So there's about 40 sellers selling this particular product. Let's see how many of them are, in fact, competitive with their price point. It does look like most of them are pretty competitive. So I would be competing with a decent amount of sellers. This being said, there's actually a lot of sellers that are also non-competitive too. So realistically, even though this number says 40, it looks like I'm probably only competing with about 10 to 12 different sellers on this listing. But again, we're looking for seasonality on Keepa, so we're going to have to jump out of this and go to our next product and brand. So we have a digital scale here, and let's see from a seasonality standpoint what we can find. So this actual listing right here is not well optimized, meaning that there is no imagery or very lacking imagery. There's no bullet points. There's really not a whole lot of information to help the customer make an informed purchase. And we actually do see that there's a reasonable amount of Amazon sellers selling the product, meaning there's not too many. So this is a potential product that we can sell and compete directly with these other sellers on. So again, we are looking for seasonality. So I'm just going to take away the price here for a moment just so we can focus on the green line. And what do I see here? Well, I do see a component of seasonality. And you might be looking at this and saying, where is that component? Well, think about what this product is. This is a digital food scale. So while this is a product that you might think does not do well for different seasons, in January, people set New Year's resolutions and start setting goals around their health, their diet, and their workouts. So what does that mean? Is that people are going to start buying digital scales to start weighing out their food. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in January. So while this isn't going absolutely crazy in January, it does pick up from a seasonality standpoint in January into February and the beginning part of Q1, a great time of the year to get your hands on some higher selling products because that traditionally is a slower time for a lot of Amazon sellers and retail businesses. So boom, we found our first seasonal product that we can actually sell here on Amazon. And now the next thing we have to do is go to the brand's website, find the contact information, and reach out to them to open a wholesale account. If you have no idea how to open a wholesale account, I've linked my blueprint video up above
which covers exactly what you need to say on the phone and how to close more accounts with brands directly and authorized distributors for your Amazon FBA business. So we found our first product here. This is a seasonal product. Although it sells all throughout the whole time of the year, all 12 months, it does better during certain months. It does better during certain months. And these are the exact kinds of products that I like. Products that consistently make me money month after month and then give me a boost for maybe 1, 2, or 3 months out of the year. And that's the kind of product that we have here. So it's going to do well in January, in February. When my sales slow down after Christmas, I'm going to have a product now to pick up those slow sales in Q1. Great product example. This is an example of an exact product that I would source and sell in my Amazon business.
Quick interruption in this video. If you guys are enjoying the video so far and like this content, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on all future content. Now let's get back to the video.
Let's move to product example number 2, which is going to be directly related to consumable and or replenishable products. So the next thing we're going to do is jump back into Smart Scout. And from here, we're going to go back to our filter criteria and select a category that is going to give us a higher likeliness of being in the consumable or replenishable product category. And there's a couple categories that immediately come to mind. The first one here is beauty and personal care. Things like topicals, lotions, face creams, all different products like this are examples of products that people buy, subscribe and save to, and order on a recurring basis. That means they're not just going to make you money one time and it's going to end. They are going to make you consistent income month after month. And these are the exact kinds of products that I sell in my Amazon FBA wholesale business. And all I have to do is reorder these products from my brands and authorized distributors. So we can select beauty and personal care. Another great category comes to mind, which is one of my personal favorites, which is grocery and gourmet food. This is a great product category because returns are not allowed. The return rate is going to be super low, if any, and you're going to be able to maximize your profit margin here and purchase products consistently from your suppliers because customers are going to repeat their orders in this category. So this is a great category. Let's go ahead and select it, keep our same filter criteria here in Smart Scout and press search. And from here, we're looking at the same sort of thing we were looking at before. We're paying attention, what's the average selling price selling for? What is the average number of FBA sellers? Meaning, are there multiple sellers on it, but not too many to where it's going to erode any chance of us getting the sales? So from here, we're just going to scroll through and check some things out to see if we can find any sort of products that are of interest to us. So the first thing I'm looking at here is a brand that I've actually heard of before, which tells me it's a larger brand of the sorts. It's called Miracle Noodle. It's actually like a ramen noodle type of product, but this is, a great example of a product that is something that people are just, hitting subscribe and save on and having shipped to them automatically. And it's a replenishable and it's consumable, meaning they go through it and they need it again. This being said, this is not of interest. And the reason it's not of interest is because the brand is selling it directly merchant fulfilled. They're undercutting everybody else. So this is not an example of something that we can compete with. So let's close out of that and jump back to Smart Scout. So here we are on this next product, which is a consumable product that people are ordering on a recurring basis. And let's see who is selling it. So the first thing we can do is go over to the other sellers on the listing, and we can see there are, in fact, multiple different third-party FBA sellers. I'm going to go ahead and put back that price just so I can get an idea of what the price is. I want to look for price consistency on the Keepa chart. And that being said, I'm fairly seeing that, there is some price dips for sure, but this is potentially a brand that we can source. One, because their listings are actually not very good. They only have a few images here just of the product packaging, which isn't bad, but it's not great. It could be better. And there's no real bullet points that give the customer information about the product or the details. And throughout the listing as a whole, I'm not seeing any sort of ingredients in the product details, although they're on the images within the product packaging. It is a good idea to include more details and specific information within the product details. So right here is an example of a product that is a consumable and a replenishable that I would purchase in my Amazon FBA business. If I was sourcing and doing this, I would literally go to the brand's website from here and contact them up and call them to open a wholesale account. This is an example of a type of a product that I would sell in my Amazon FBA business because people order it month after month. And while it isn't a crazy seller, 100 plus bought in the past month, think about if you got 10 products like that. Now, instead of selling 100 units per month on this particular item, or a fraction of that if you're competing with multiple sellers, maybe it's 50 units per month. Think about if you scale that by 10 or 20. Now, instead of selling 100, you're selling 1,000 or you're selling 2,000. And that is the way Amazon FBA wholesale works. Is you carry many different replenishable products. You mitigate risk because you have multiple different brands you're working with. You have many different SKUs and you can carry all these different kinds of products. So if one product has a bad day or has a bad month, the next one picks up its slack. And that is the way I run my Amazon wholesale business. Is I completely take emotion out of the products, any kind, 100% focused on the data. And I want products that generate me consistent income month after month. And one of the best ways to do that is to find both replenishable and consumable products. So this is an example of a product that I would sell in my Amazon business. And I'm going to go jump back to Smart Scout because I want to show you guys another example in a different category of a product that is consumable or replenishable. And this time we're going to jump into the beauty and personal care category. So we're going to go ahead and click search. And from here, we're just going to scroll again to see what we can find. And guys, I've, again, done no work ahead of time in making this video, but you can see how easy it is to find potential brands that you can actually work with to sell on Amazon. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And part of the reason why it caught my eye was because that it sells for an average selling price of $64, which if you can sell your products at a higher selling price, you can actually make more money and scale your business faster. And this is a skincare product. Let's see if the brand is on it selling themselves. So we're going to go ahead and click here. And that is in fact the case. So we're going to close that out and jump back into Smart Scout. And you can see that that immediately makes my decision, regardless of all other conditions. If the brand is the only one selling the product on Amazon, it's not something I'm interested in. It's private label or third-party exclusive. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. I'm seeing a pretty strong average selling price at 46. Average number of FBA sellers is 8.9 with an Amazon in-stock rate of 0%, meaning Amazon is never selling the product. Sells a lot of units per month, and the brand score is about a 4.5. If you're not familiar with what the brand score is on Smart Scout, is it actually shows you which listings are in fact not so good and which listings are good. So we talked about how, you can look at a listing and tell if it's optimized or not. Smart Scout can actually do the same thing. So it takes into account sales volume, product reviews, imagery, high quality content, and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this listing to see if it's something that's potentially of interest. And it's not crazy sales volume at 200 to 300 units per month, but it could definitely potentially meet our criteria. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, any one of the listings here. And first thing I notice is that the listing is actually not well optimized, and that is reinforced by the brand score, which was only at a 4.5. So, not much imagery at all, not bullet points. Is there A+ content? No, there's not. We would see that here in the product description. There's only a couple of sentences. So now I'm going to look at Keepa, and I'm going to see, guys, this product has such a consistent rank, and this is a great example of a product that I would sell because the rank virtually never changes over time. It stays at an average rank of about 35 to 40,000, and this is something that's going to make us money if we can get an account with the brand month after month. The only thing we have to worry about is competing with the other Amazon sellers, and that's exactly what we're going to look at here. So we're going to scroll through here, look at some of these other Amazon sellers, and we can see that there are some FBA sellers. Now, what I would do is I would pull up the brand's website, and I would contact them to open a wholesale account. And why would I be able to open a wholesale account with them versus everybody else reaching out to them? Well, I know that I can provide value to this brand because their listings do not look so good. On top of that, they have fairly consistent pricing, but the price actually drops here and there, right? So we see brief drops where it's consistently selling for 59, and then out of nowhere overnight, it goes to 45, again, goes to 49. So the price is consistent from a holistic standpoint. This being said, this could tell us that there are unauthorized sellers and the brand might have a distribution problem. So what I'm going to do is contact this brand to open a wholesale account and potentially provide them with value if they tell me they're not interested in working with me. But for the purposes of this video, this is, again, another great replenishable and consumable product that we can sell on Amazon. We're going to close out of here, jump back to Smart Scout, and I'm going to share with you the third and final product type that I like to sell. And this product type is niche products. The riches are in the niches. And if you can realize that in selling on Amazon, you're going to make a lot of money. So I'm going to just scroll through here. And now instead of looking for those, seasonal categories or the replenishable or consumable categories, I'm going to try to find more of a niche category where I can actually then go into a subcategory and find a niche of a niche, right? So there's many different examples of that. Automotive is a smaller category than some of these other categories that we looked at. Let's see what else is here. Health and household is a big category. So that's something, yes, we could definitely find niche products in, but for the purposes of this video, I'm actually looking to find these products quickly for you guys so that you can implement it into your Amazon business. Musical instruments is definitely a niche category. It's a much smaller category than many others. Patio, lawn, and garden, again, more of a niche category. Pet supplies, niche category. So there's tons of niche categories here that you can then niche down further and further in. So the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to jump to, let's see here. Let's try patio, lawn, and garden. Again, it's a fairly good sized category, but it's smaller than, say, a health and household category. So we can find one of our niche products faster. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and click search. And the other thing that you can do on Smart Scout is you can actually look at the subcategory here. So instead of just looking at the main category, patio, lawn, and garden, we can niche down further and look at the subcategory. So like here, garden hoses or pool filter cartridges, right? There are many, many products on here in categories that we can potentially niche down in. And the first thing that's actually catching my eye here is this Peak Products Pool and Spa. This is because it actually hits every single one of our 3 product types here on this list. It hits seasonal because it's a pool-related product. So if you're complaining about your slow sales in the summer months, this is going to help you out. It is a replenishable and a consumable, meaning customers are ordering this not just once, but they're ordering it many times over because they are filter cartridges. And 3, it hits our niche. So let's go on Amazon and let's check out the product. So from here, this is a beautiful average selling price of $300, $120. This is a product that can make you a ton of money. I sell products just like this on Amazon in different niches, in different categories that are seasonal, that are consumable, replenishable, that are going to make me a fortune. And they do so on a repeat monthly basis. So this is a niche of a niche, right? It's the pool filter replacement cartridge category of the patio, lawn, and garden category. And we can see that here on the side. Patio, lawn, and garden is our main department. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the product, just take another look at it, make sure the brand does not sell the product. And I'm going to go ahead and do that by clicking on the other Amazon sellers. And I can see that it's actually a lot of industry specific sellers selling it, which does not mean it's out of the question, but just something to keep in mind. But again, I don't see the brand directly selling on the listing. So from here, you would think that I initially thought this product would do well for the summer months, but it actually might do better in off-season months, such as in the fall and the spring, which are months surrounding big pool season, which is the summer months. So again, our third product category here is niche products. The riches are in the niches. And you can do the math on 500 units bought in the past month at a $300 sell price. This account could quite literally make you 5 figures profit per month. It is a potentially extremely profitable product because of this average selling price. The listings are not good, so you can offer value to the brand. And it's in a niche of a niche. And if we want to see what niche it's in, we can just go here on Keepa and look at the patio, lawn, and garden, and it goes into pool filter cartridges. And I just want to scroll down a little bit further here. And if we wanted to continue to explore this niche, in the product details page on the listing, we can actually click on a subcategory within patio, lawn, and garden and continue to explore this seasonal, consumable, and niche product category. And from here, there's tons and tons of products that you can continue to source in this category that are going to make you money consistently. That is the 3 product categories and products types that I will sell in my Amazon business: seasonal, replenishable, and consumable, and niche products. This is what Amazon FBA wholesale is all about. It's about finding consistent products that will make you money on a repeat basis, month after month. And all you have to do is reorder these products from your wholesale suppliers. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out the videos in the algorithm, and consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on all future content. And if you guys haven't seen the other videos on my channel where I discovered not just how to find these types of products, but how to actually get your hands on them and obtain a wholesale account with the brand or an authorized distributor, make sure to check out the channel because I have tons of video on how to do all of that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.